Yo, what up? It is the 20th of December. It is currently 8:59 p.m. on a Friday. We have mail today. What do we have in... What do we have in... Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, right. Yes, I ordered stuff yesterday. A harsh life lesson is the gap between the ideal and reality. Are you settled in town yet? Yeah, it's been like 4 years. You'd hope. Alright, yeah, we have a bit of a mail problem here. Let's get this sorted out. Okay, so we can we can trash the letters that are from Tom Nook. Those are not important to me. In fact, okay, that's fine. I mean, really, why is it so laggy here? Is it because of the gyroids on the ground? Oh, hey, Pompom. But wait, give me a sec, Pompom. So, I'm just having these letters here so that I can store these gifts that I've got. And then at some point I'm going to write all the letters for the villages for Fake Toy Day. And then those will be all sent off. Okay, so let me just... So yeah, my letter storage is like completely full now because there's 8 items and then 1 extra set of stationery papers. Hey, Pom-Pom. That's right, you give your place a makeover? Well, you give your place your makeover every once in a while, right? Of course I do. If you don't, they'll come for you. Cockroaches! Oh yeah. Is that like... I actually don't know how cockroaches work in that regard. Like, if you play every single day, but you don't... Oh, Gracie's here. If you play every single day, but you don't, like, do anything in your house, do cockroaches still show up? And as well as cockroaches, do cockroaches show up? Oh, I need to, if I'm doing Gracie, I gotta, bye-bye. I've gotta, get rid of one of my letters. Oh, the only thing left is a fortune. Okay, wait, let me do this. And then I can get rid of this. I have to remember which gifts are for which villages, actually. Anyway, hello, Gracie. Let's see. I think what I'll just... So I was complaining the other day about Gracie not being here. So it'd be kind of hyperbolic for me to... Not hyperbolic. Hypocritical for me to not, you know... get out of this interaction what I can. I'm going for 1 new Gracie shirt. I don't really care to, you know, have all 4 characters go through this process if I get a new shirt early on. Okay. Everyone's here as well. Pompom's here, Genji's up here. Genji's not usually on this side of town because his house is on the left side. In fact, he's inside a lot. Yeah. Don't you get no uppity? This is a process. It certainly takes a second. 000. Alright, here we go. Giraffe shirt. Let's see. Nope, don't need a giraffe shirt. Great. Well, that was a big old waste of time. And she gave me these triangle shades, even though I already had them. But I kind of want my original triangle shades on. I don't want these dirty, well, they're clean new ones. But I like the layer of filth. It's it's distinct. I don't know how filthy sunglasses typically get. Hey, I saw Hugh and Pompom gazing into each other's eyes. Yeah, just the other day. I think they were having a staring contest. Wait, what? You think something funny's going on? Yeah, I feel like we had that well, no, wasn't it like... Oh, wait, the famous painting. I don't need that. No, My like heart sunk for a bit because I thought that was a new painting finally, but no. The famous painting's the one I already have. The one I need is the fine painting, as in the one that you get from Nooks as a spotlight item. Oh well. I'm sure one day, probably not this year, but you know, one day. I also checked today, and my seeded trees have not gotten, or these seeded trees have not gotten lights yet, but I think they do. They get them sometime during December. Hey, do you think boys and girls can be friends? Yeah, sure, why not? Really? Well, Hugh and Pippy must be friends then. Damn, Hugh gets around. I've heard rumors about Nibbles, Pompom, Pippy. Hugh is he's something. I don't know what. Hey, speak of the devil. What are you doing here? I think we should hang out more, don't you? Oh, I know. Can I come over to your house sometime? No! Okay, I guess you must be busy too, huh? Sorry I even mentioned it. Oh, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll forgive you at some point, but just, gotta keep yourself in check sometimes, Hugh. You don't want to get too comfortable. That's my favorite bit, is when people apologize for something, like, minor that they obviously don't need to apologize for, and then you say something like, yeah, I'll forgive you eventually, or something like that. I just think it's funny. Oops. Oh man, what on earth did I do? I just scrolled down like a bunch on this. Oh wait, I didn't just accidentally... Whatever I did. Oh god. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just messing with my spreadsheet. That's a flower there. I'm not certain on the order that I water bars. I'm not certain on the order that I water these flowers, because, like, I don't know, it's just... I usually start at the top and then come down, but then when I get to here, to the museum, I could either go down, like, down from my house more, or to the museum. And you just have to pick. And I don't know what... Is there an optimal way? Does it matter? It probably doesn't matter. That's a good way of looking at it. I think a lot of things that I think about like that don't matter. Come to think of it. Maybe that's a better perspective to have. Hey, Nibbles. Yeah, so I became a member of the HRA, but judging by the way they score me, I'm like a complete decorating doof. Oh, why can't they see how totally awesome I am? I don't know. Maybe you need a kitty stereo, or some other random item. Kitty stereo is just a random example I gave. I totally don't have one that I'm prepared to give you, or anything like that. God, it does get laggy a lot more often. Most likely due to how many flowers are around here now. But you know what? It's fine. I think I said it before, but the only thing that it bothers me only a little bit, because I'm like worried that the game is just going to get overloaded and crash because of the amount of stuff that's going on. But I don't know. I don't think... I think it would take a lot for it to do that, but I'm not sure. The thing is, it would be a combination of villages and flowers, so it's not necessarily something that would crash the game every time if it were to. But, yeah, I guess it would just be, I don't know. It probably wouldn't happen anyway. Hey, Peewee. Oh, you're modeled again, eh? I bet you got canyon-like echoes in a house like that. That's it, I'm bringing my banjo over and singing you a rockin' song. Don't worry, I'll sing to you all night long. Peewee, my house has been like that for a while. They should, like, detect how long it's been since you got your house upgraded, because they talk about it a lot for something that happened, like, years ago at this point. I didn't even remember when I would have finished upgrading my house in this game. All I know is that it was definitely fully done by the time I started playing this year. Or by the time I started recording it this year, I mean. How are you doing, Marina? Oh, are you trying to leave? Don't do that. Something, 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 something. Listen, Marina. I know you like moving and stuff, and trying to move, but I don't know what to do anymore. What should I do? Should I just forget about the whole thing? You definitely should, and that is, one of the things you can say. One of the things you say that means that you're gonna stay. Oh, I thought this was, section was gonna be perfect for a second. I still need to import that, blue rose that I got yesterday. I'm still stoked about that. I really hope I can get that last one before the year ends, but, you know, chances are that isn't gonna happen, but I don't know, I just for some reason have a feeling. Maybe I'll do some cheeky time traveling and, in Rolfton, you know, twist some knobs, push some buttons, but I don't know, I don't really want to do that when it's so close to the end. Like, I don't want to flip the year over in that game, and I don't really want to time travel in that game anymore anyway, because I only did it initially, really, because I wanted to get, like, my flowers back, and I am well into the territory of having my flowers back at this point, so I don't really need to time travel in that game anymore, and I don't really think I should, which was something that I said was going to be the case from when I first got that second town, so I think that's what it'll be like from now on. Because if you cheat too much, then everything loses its weight. I don't have too much interesting to talk about today. I've been doing some stuff, mostly just, you know, chilling out, as I'm assuming the kids say that these days. It's the sort of thing that the youth of my time, God, that's dumb. I don't know what threshold even allows you to make comments like that and for it to be, like, accurate. Because I know, right now, if I say something like that, it's, like, sounds silly. But when does that stop sounding silly and just start sounding... I mean, I guess it kind of always sounds silly to, like, not complain about, but, like, I don't know, like, reminisce like that, I guess. Just got a Windows Defender pop up on my thing. It always says it didn't find any threats, which, I mean, I feel like if it found a threat, it would tell me as soon as it found it. I guess, I don't know, I've always been afraid of viruses. They're kind of scary. Just because, like, you don't know what they're capable of, and, like, they can do bad stuff. Oh, the two fossils are next to each other. But also, I'm just generally paranoid about stuff like that. Alright, no. Okay, well, that's good. It's been so long since I've seen a new Able Sisters shirt. Like, I know I don't have too many left to get, but I feel like I should be seeing some every so often. Pippy. Oh, you have something to say. Hi, what's up, S-Rock? Hey, guess what? I totally thought of the cutest new nickname for you. Wanna hear it? Tell me. Okay, here it is. Your new awesome nickname is S-Star. You know what? That just sounds a bit awkward. S-Star. Like Superstar. You know what? Sure. S-Star. You're an S-Star. I don't know. It's kind of like, you could do it like All-Star, like the Smash Mouth song. I think that's one of the first songs that I, like, learned all of the lyrics to. But that happens more often with me, because I like listening to specific songs over and over again more than I like learning the words to new songs. Okay, I'm gonna actually go and get these fossils assessed and then sell them for, Mondo dollar. No, wait, the Mondo is like a way of saying cool. Like, megabucks? Maximum dough? I don't know. What's a good way of saying, like, top dollar? Yeah, top dollar. That's a good way of putting it. Boy, I'd pay top dollar for a pair of shoes like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. It's nice and, I was playing Pokemon today, and I was whenever I caught a Pokemon, I'd name it something like a British term. So I had a Pokemon named Cuppa, and I had a Pokemon named Trousers, and one named, Shinwag. That was what I named my starter, and I thought that was, funny, for some reason. It was my nicknames in Pokemon are really stupid, like, pretty much every single time. And I always have, I have these moments so often when I'll name it in the moment, and then, like, not even a day later, I'll look at the name again and be like, why did I name it that? That's so dumb. Those are the best nicknames, because they stick in your head. Although, off the top of my head, I mean, I named a Dragonite Steve Jobs one time in a playthrough of Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue, I think, and that Dragonite, that was that was the first time I used a Dragonite. Yeah, good old Steve Jobs, he did a pretty good job. I am a big fan of the first generation of Pokemon. It's like a fine line, because I'm fully aware that it's like, very basic in comparison to every other Pokemon, and also just generally has a lot of issues, but I don't know. I am nostalgic for it in a sense, because it was like the first Pokemon I played. But at the same time, I feel like the things that I like about it aren't because of nostalgia. I don't know. I mean, there's like, the Pokedex in particular, like the Pokemon in the first generation are like some of my favorite, and it's probably my favorite Pokedex just like out of all of the other generations of Pokemon, if I had to put if I had to pick one. But I mean, I wouldn't describe myself as a Gen 1er in the traditional sense. I feel like I've talked about this before. So I feel like I have an episode that's titled Gen 1er. Probably. But yeah, I'm just a fan of them. I like them all. I mean, I don't care for, like, Seal and Dugong a lot, those are kind of lame Pokemon. But other than that, I'm pretty sure, I feel like every single one in that generation, I'd say, is, like, solid. Even, like, Mr. Mime, I think, is quirky enough that it's like, yeah, okay, sure, I can, I think with Pokemon, the thing is that you have to accept an amount of, like, not suspension of disbelief, but a suspension of your, like, judgment, where things that, that would sound like they wouldn't be good Pokemon designs, you should, like, give, a bit of, like, benefit of the doubt. No, benefit of the not doubt. a more eloquent way of saying that in this scenario. Yeah, but, like, yeah, there should be an amount of, like, the clef key in, X and Y is one that comes up a lot, where it's like, oh, it's just keys. And, like, yeah, sure, that is dumb. But that's not, I don't think it's dumb in a, like, I don't think it's dumb in a way that's, like, I don't even know how to I don't even know how to describe what I'm saying right now, but, like, I guess what I mean is that, yeah, is, like, there's dumb fun, and then there's just regular dumb. And I don't think, when a Pokemon design like that is regular dumb, at least in my opinion. I'm gonna gather myself a little Santa outfit for Toy Day. God, I'm really bad at articulating myself, aren't I? I am like doing multiple things at once right now. I'm like looking through my catalog to find what thing I'm trying to get. I wanted like, isn't there like a, there's like a, I don't even know what this hat would be called. I just gotta look through all the hats until I find what I'm looking for. But there's one that's like, oh, there's a blue knit hat which has a little ball at the end. That's not really what I'm looking for. Oh wait, look, I'll show it. That's like as close to a Santa hat as you can get in this game, because there is not a formal Santa hat. So I'll just buy that, and that'll be part of my Toy Day outfit. And then I can see if there's a shirt I can get. But yeah, you know, with Pokemon, it's like, yes, when there's a new Pokemon design and it's like dumb, I'm usually quick to being like, yeah, okay, I can accept it. What I don't like in Pokemon designs, and it's something that I mean, it's been a thing for a while, I'd say, but it's more recently become even more prevalent, is like when Pokemon just sort of have these like random patterns on them, and like they just, well, for whatever reason, you know, they'll have like a stripe here and a zigzag or a particular pattern, and it's like not coherent, or it doesn't really like have any relevance to the design, or it doesn't strengthen, like, I don't know, when it seems like they've just senselessly slapped a random pattern over the Pokemon. I think it not only takes away from the simplicity, but in general it just draws away from the strength of the design, because it's like, I don't know, pulling it in multiple different directions, and it just sort of makes it feel more messy, I guess. Like, I think Pokemon, like, that's kind of why I like that first generation of Pokemon the most, is because they generally accepted, you know, being simplistic. And I guess in general I'm just usually a bigger fan of things that are simplistic, which maybe speaks to my judgment, but I don't know, I just think a simple design works better than a complicated design a lot of the time, in my opinion. And I mean, it depends, obviously, but I think for Pokemon, simplistic makes more sense, because it's like for kids, you know, it's like, you want them to be able to draw the Pokemon, or at least attempt to. So I think something that's more coherent, and that has a stronger design that accepts its simplicity, is generally better than, the opposite of that. Man, I thought that there was, like, oh, there's not really anything that's like a Santa shirt. There was one I found, but I don't remember it now, because I was looking through them all, and I thought that I wouldn't need to use it. There's a vest. Let me just get something out of here that's, like, better than nothing. Graduation, the graduation gown's not good enough. The Red Riding hoodie is kinda... It's got the colors. I'll just get this. It's not a perfect match. Maybe I'll make a custom design, but I'll just get this for now. But yeah, so personally with Pokemon, if you're talking, like, least favorite designs, I just generally don't like ones that are trying too hard to be complicated, or just in general have these, like, patterns on them that seem completely incoherent or have no actual purpose towards the design, which is obviously a point of tension that's, like, difficult to properly you know, evaluate. It's not something that's got, like, a hard science to it or anything. So yeah, it's a little bit oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to, like, say conclusively. And I don't claim to be an expert on design. I mean, I do, you know, animation as one of my majors and stuff, but that doesn't make me, like, I don't think that makes me more qualified. I don't even think, I think I've done some, like, brief character design stuff. But no, I'm in no way an expert on character design, and especially creature design. It's just my thoughts. And yeah, I don't inherently have a problem with new Pokemon so much as I just think that they just have certain design trends that I'm not a big fan of. Even like in the most recent generation, I liked Fuecoco as the startup choice, which is the little fire crocodile. I even have a plush of him. He's probably my favorite Pokemon from the generation. But, I mean, I like him. And he does have some, you know, patterns on him, but they're not too bad. But then, ooh, Black Tulip. But then, you know what, I'll keep that there. Then he evolves, and then I think it's like Crocolore, and it's just like covered in all of these random... I mean, maybe they're not random, but they look random to me, these patterns that they're just... And it just looks so messy. That's just how I feel, though. But I think generally people agree that Fuecoco's... I mean, I liked the final thing, Evolution 4, Fuecoco, the, what was it called? Oh man, I'm forgetting. It was Skeledirge, that was it. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I think it kind of still has a bit of that problem. But yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, that's just, I think generally that's my thoughts on Pokemon designs nowadays. And that's not even like, that's been a thing for a while. Like, I'd even say in like Generation 5 it would have been a thing. Hell, maybe there's some examples in Generation 4 that I'm not even thinking of. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a thing where technology only granted them so much with a design, because you had to fit it all within a sprite. In the earliest games, you're dealing with Game Boy, which is like, you know, it's 8-bit, basically. In fact, yeah, it just is straight up 8-bit. That's what that would be. Which means the sprites can't be that big. And that means, in turn, that the designs themselves can't be that complicated, because then it would be too difficult to replicate with the sprite work. So, in turn, the designs had to be simplistic. And then, when the technology started to evolve and they were able to get away with the designs being more complicated, they just sort of made them more complicated without, you know, stopping to think if that's even necessary or if they're just doing it because they can. At least that's how I feel about it. And that applies to a lot of things with Pokemon, actually, like, as well with, the way they, you know, they've jumped into doing, you know, 10 years ago they started making Pokemon in 3D, and it's never really felt like they've got it, you know, perfectly down pat, even now. And they just sort of keep growing in scale, but not really growing in, like, ability, at least in my opinion. Okay, so I did say I'll do Gracie with the other characters, so why don't I drop some money here? I don't remember how much... I probably should just drop 10,000 and then split it. Oh yeah, you can't do that. Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. This is kind of inconvenient, isn't it? Oopsie. Oh man, is this even... Okay, this works, I guess. I feel like one character has like a bunch of bells. I'm just gonna get... Did I just pull it? I pulled at 10,000. Oh. Fine. There should be a more convenient system for this, I feel. Okay. I'm gonna drop my stars. Oh, and I gotta drop all of those bells. Okay. Alright, let's save and quit. I won't save in the bed, because there's not really any point. So, yeah, now we'll do this with the other characters. I think if I get a new shirt with anyone, I'll just stop there, because I don't really feel like going through all of them if I feel like I'm not only gonna get one new thing. This is probably the last time Gracie will show up for this year, come to think of it. But yeah, I feel like with Pokemon, I'm not disenchanted with Pokemon because I still have things to do in the older games that make me feel more like, even just this year, I played played Pokemon Black for the first time and played Pokemon Soul Silver for the first time. I still need to play Diamond Pearl or Platinum or and the original like Ruby Sapphire or Emerald, like all of those, like, and then also Generation 6. So that's a lot that I still haven't really like experienced yet. But in terms of what they're like, the new stuff that's coming in now, I don't know. I feel like with the next, whatever the next game ends up being, it's gonna have to be pretty good for me to want to get it, because it's kind of hard to trust what they're coming out with now. I played Pokemon Violet, and I'm not a big fan of it personally. And I know people are like, oh well, if you ignore the graphical stuff and the bugs, then it's actually pretty fun. But I honestly don't even think that. I think it is just a poorly designed game. Like, it's as an open world game, it just doesn't really understand what an open world game should be, in my opinion. I think a fundamental thing that is wrong with the game is the fact that they don't scale levels in different areas of the game. So if you go to the areas of the game that they go to areas of the game that they determine to be like, you know, end game, then all the Pokemon are at end game levels and all of the trainers are at end game levels. So, essentially, it's not an open world game, because you have to do things in a certain order, or really, ideally you will, so then your Pokemon could get trained up properly. And the thing is, you can do things out of order. You can do a gym, like, 4 badges early, like, you know, way earlier than you're supposed to. But then, it just means that all of the gyms you skip are basically a free win, because you were able to beat the one that was higher level than all of those other ones. So, like, there's basically 0 point to the open world aspect. And sure, like, earlier Pokemon games had that. Like, in Generation 1 even, you could, once you beat, I feel like it's even once you beat... No, yeah, once you beat Cerulean Gym, then you can go as far as, like... I think you can go as far as, like, Cinnabar Island before you even have to go back and fight Lieutenant Surge in Vermilion City. Like, and sure, there's no level scaling there, but the game isn't marketed as an open-world game. It's just a thing that you can do. But if they're going to be like, hey, this is an open-world Pokemon game, then I feel like it should be designed like an open-world game. Like, Breath of the Wild, if you go to, like, Death Mountain, then, I mean, sure, you're going to, you know, catch on fire immediately, but you're going to... The enemies there aren't going to kill, like, you know, they're not going to be endgame enemies. Because that game knows what it's doing, like, with an open-world game, and they spent time, like, you know, properly, yes, optimizing it, but, like, designing the open-world experience. But with this Pokemon game, it's just, like, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it, at least. And I don't know what the levels are of, like, how, you know, acquainted these people are with, like, regular video games. So maybe it's a thing where I'm more experienced with games and so I have more judgment, or maybe it's just different perspectives. I don't know. But that's how I feel about it. And if the newer Pokemon games are all, like, gonna be like that, then I don't know if I'm gonna really play them anymore. And I mean, yes, obviously the graphical things are also a big thing. And I don't think it's like, oh, it's just a minor. I think I actively dislike looking at the game, which is even in an older game where it's graphically worse, it's, you know, it still looks presentable. I think that's the thing, is that it's not that they're bad, it's not that it's a bad game graphically in the sense that it's like, you know, like, looks low res. It's a bad game graphically in the sense that it doesn't look presentable. Like, you can present I think, the older Pokemon games proudly most of the time. And sure, they are, like, stuck in a particular period. Like, Pokemon Gen 1 looks like it's a game from 1998, but it looks like a presentable game from 1998. I don't think you can tell me that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet look presentable for the year 2022. I don't really even think they look presentable for the year, like, 2017. They look very outdated, and they looked outdated when they came out. And, you know, everyone... Then there's the excuse of it being on the Switch. And I'm not going to deny that something being on the Switch inherently will, you know, bring it back graphically. Because it's true. If something's on the Switch, then it's going to be worse graphically. That is a guarantee. At least it's going to be worse than, you know, what would probably be considered the industry standard right now. Like, you know, like 4K. It doesn't support 4K. Like, so that already, yeah, it's lower level. It's hardware from, like, 2015, basically. But that doesn't mean you can't make a game look good on it, and I still also think you can make a game look presentable on it, which that game is not. It's not presentable for the hardware that it's on, so I don't think that's a good excuse. And if other, you know, Nintendo first-party games can look... Oh, I guess I don't need this money. If other first-party Nintendo games can look as good as they do on the same hardware and be made with the same internal resources, then I don't see what excuse Pokemon has, because it makes way more money. Like Animal Crossing, it looks awesome on the Switch. So why on earth does it look, you know, why does it look so much better than a Pokemon game, which inevitably would have a way higher budget? Who knows? I think it's because they have a very strict release cycle. If you've ever looked at the, like, Wikipedia timeline for Pokemon releases... Oh, man, I keep doing that. Yeah, if you look at the Wikipedia timeline for Pokemon releases, it is a very established pattern by this point, where, you know, 2022, Scarlet and Violet came out. 2019, Sword and Shield. 2016, Sun and Moon. 2013, X and Y. 2010, Black and White. The pattern being, of course, that they come out every 3 years. Which means that, yes, next year, in November, there'll be a new generation, Generation 10. Assuming that they continue the pattern, which I am reasonably sure they will. And the fact that they have that pattern means that I'm assuming that they just prepare everything with that pattern in mind. What shirt did I get? Butterfly shirt. Do I need that? Nope. But yeah, you know, they prepare everything with that template in mind. Like, they have, you know, an anime season that comes out. They have cards that come out. They have promotional material. They have plushes. They have... you know, shorts. They have all of this stuff, and by shorts I mean, like, you know, like a short series, not like pants, although they would also have pants, so it's another thing to consider. All of the gyroids I have in my inventory right now are all ones I already have, so that's why I'm selling them here. But yeah, so yes, they have a lot to coordinate, and I can like, accept that. I don't think it's a good excuse. I can accept that as a reason. You know, I mean, if you're late, like, because you tripped over, like, a pothole, I don't know how if you're walking, you trip over a pot, I don't know how that works, but, you know, yeah, sure, that's an excuse. You're still late, though. That doesn't mean you're, like, not late anymore, you know? That's how I feel about it. Like, sure, they can throw out whatever excuses that they want. I don't think that, like, completely, you know, I don't think that saves them. I don't think that's, like, I don't think an excuse means that you avoid the consequences, which, there's not going to be consequences, mind you, because people buy anything that Pokemon puts out, so, you know, it's a bit of an uphill battle for anyone who cares for it to change. And I don't necessarily care for change. Like, if Pokemon wants to rot and only get worse over time, then I'm fine letting it do that. I'm just not going to play the newer Pokemon games anymore. There's enough... Oh, wait. There's enough, like, good Pokemon games that already exist, and there's also enough good other games in other series that already exist that deserve my time, probably more so, that aren't, you know, like 40-hour-long RPGs. At least they're 40 hours for me. I you know, usually take my time with them. Tall Nebuloid. Do I have a Tall Nebuloid in here? No, I do not. And Tall Percoloid. This was the one I got recently, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure I'm, like, guaranteed to not have this in here. Yep. I'm filling up this gyroid storage. There's 90 in here, and then there's 130 gyroids total, which means I'll have, like... Oh, well over half stored in here by the time this fills up. Slim. I don't think I have a single thing called Slim in here, so let's put this in here. And Mini Gargoyd. Yeah, that's my thoughts on Pokemon, just in general. I've thought about it a lot. Right now I'm into Pokemon, but it sort of ebbs and flows, so we'll see how I feel in like a month. Yeah, that's gonna be about it for today. God, a 40-minute episode. Tomorrow, we'll see what happens, I guess. That's kind of how it's always been, how it's been for the past, well, basically the past month. We'll just see what happens. But yeah, that's gonna be about it for today.